Today, this experienced pilot encountered a flock of birds shortly after taking off from the airport. The impact from the birds made it difficult to see the situation ahead, and more dangerously, both engines were damaged and lost power. The plane experienced severe turbulence, and at this point, the captain was unaware of the engine's status. There was no feedback from the engines, and the cabin lost power. The captain immediately turned on the auxiliary devices. The flight attendants were responsible for comforting the passengers, while the co-pilot was in charge of finding a response to the situation. The captain called the control tower for help. Although the tower actively cooperated, Sully indicated that they might have to make an emergency landing in the river because the plane's current altitude could not guarantee a safe landing at a nearby airport. He instructed the passengers to brace for impact. Sully chose not to follow the tower's instructions and decided to land on the river instead. The tower kept trying to contact Sully after losing the signal because the success rate of a water landing was less than 1%. However, Sully had already begun adjusting the plane's angle for entering the water. After a huge splash, the plane landed perfectly on the river. Sully quickly entered the passenger cabin to evacuate the passengers. The injured flight attendant opened the evacuation slides before the river water completely flooded the plane. The injured attendant only left the plane after all the passengers had exited. The Coast Guard air rescue and rescue boats arrived first. The smooth rescue made everyone forget that this was a water landing with a success rate of less than 1%. Everyone was thankful to have survived this accident, and all the passengers were rescued. After making sure that no passengers were trapped in any part of the cabin, Sully took the most important logbook and was the last to jump onto the evacuation slide. However, the first question Sully asked after being rescued was to confirm whether all 155 people on the plane had been saved. Due to the passengers being distributed among different rescue teams, they couldn't give an accurate answer at the time. Soon, Sully was informed at the hospital that all 155 passengers on the plane had been rescued. Sully was also very thankful that he had made the right choice. In the news reports, Sully was portrayed as a great hero, but the next day, he became the subject of a National Transportation Safety Board trial. The investigators questioned that the loss of power in both engines was an extremely rare situation. Based on the engineers' calculations, they believed the plane had enough power to return to the airport, but Sully chose to make a water landing instead.